Is this the transfer window that changes everything for Newcastle United? Or are we watching the most calculated chess moves in our recent history? After completing our first major signing of the summer with Anthony Elanga's $55 million arrival from Nottingham Forest, the Magpies are sending a clear message to the footballing world. But with Liverpool making their move for Alexander Isak and the rumour mill in absolute overdrive, this summer feels like it could define our next chapter. We might be witnessing the dawn of a new era at St James Park, where every signing tells a story, and every quote from our new Swedish winger holds massive clues about what's really happening behind closed doors. A 55 million man who's already buzzing about showcasing his talent, but won't guarantee his international teammate will be here next season. The plot's thickening faster than a proper Geordie stoddy, isn't it? Let's dive into what's really going on with Elanga's signing and the Isak'S situation that's got everyone from the Gallowgate to the Leazes End talking. All right, Toonami. Welcome back to NUFC Quick News, your go-to source for everything Newcastle United. The passion, the pride, and the black and white fight. I've got some absolutely mental news coming your way today, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around until the very end, because there's a revelation about what's really happening with our transfer strategy that's going to have you buzzing like a proper mad Geordie. But first, let me ask you this. Are you ready for what could be the most crucial few weeks in our recent history? Because what Anthony Elanga just said about Alexander Isak in his first interview is sending shockwaves through the entire Premier League. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you reckon Isak's staying put or heading to Anfield? And make sure you're subscribed, because this story's got more twists than the Tyne Bridge. Right then, Toonami, let's get straight into it. Anthony Elanga has officially completed his move to Newcastle United on a long-term deal for $55 million, and his first interview is absolutely fascinating when you read between the lines, like a proper Geordie detective. Elanga joined Newcastle after playing a starring role in Forest's impressive 2024-25 Premier League campaign, scoring 6 goals and adding 11 assists to secure European qualification. But here's where it gets interesting. When our new Swedish sensation was asked about his international teammate, Alexander Isak, he was diplomatic as eau de but. From Newcastle's training camp in Austria, Elanga said there's always going to be noise around a player of Alex's stature, and that Isak is staying super focused in training. But then came the crucial bit. He called Isak one of the best attackers in the world, but added that telling phrase, "He's a Newcastle United player right now. Right now." Catch that, did you? Not, "He's committed for years," or "He's going nowhere," but right now. That's the kind of careful wording that makes you think there's been some proper conversations behind the scenes. What do you reckon that tells us about what the lads are chatting about in training? Are our players already mentally preparing for potential changes to the squad? Now let's talk about the massive elephant trampling around St James's Park. Liverpool have registered their interest in signing Alexander Isak this summer, as they continue their search for a number 9, according to ESPN sources. And here's the mental bit. Liverpool has approached Newcastle with interest about striking an agreement for $161 million. That's $120 million for those keeping track. While Newcastle maintain that Isak is not for sale this summer, the speculation just won't die down. And here's what's got everyone's head spinning. Our pursuit of Hugo Ekitike and other strikers is raising eyebrows faster than you can say, "Away the lads." Eddie Howe insists any new signings would play alongside Isak, not replace him. But sources suggest Isak has shown no great enthusiasm for an extension to his contract that runs until 2028. In football terms, that's like saying, "I'm keeping my options open, cheers." Are we seeing the pieces being moved into position for a potential departure? The timing certainly got everyone talking down the big market. But let's focus on what we do know for certain. Anthony Elanga is absolutely class, and he's buzzing to be here. The 23-year-old told the club, "I'm excited, I'm really happy, but most importantly, I'm ready. I'm ready to put on this black and white top to really fight for this team and give everything for the passionate fan base that lives and breathes football." Now that's the kind of passion that gets the Gallo Gate bouncing. This is a player who gets what it means to pull on the black and white stripes. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you're loving this proper deep dive into the latest Newcastle news. Eddie Howe said he's delighted to welcome Anthony to Newcastle United and described him as an exciting talent with attributes that make him a unique attacking threat. The gaffer knows what he's doing. Elanga's pace, energy, and ability to create and score goals will be crucial as we head into another Champions League campaign. And speaking of Champions League football, that's exactly what drew Elanga to Tyneside. Elanga is one of the most explosive players in the Premier League, and 7 of the 20 fastest sprints in the Premier League last season were his. For context, nobody else in the top 20 hit such speeds more than once. That's the kind of pace that can tear apart any defence in Europe. Imagine him running at tired legs in the 70th minute of a Champions League knockout match. Pure nightmare fuel for opposition defenders. What's your prediction for Elanga's biggest contribution this season? Let me know in the comments. But here's what's really got me thinking about the bigger picture. The fact that we've spent $55 million on a winger when the Isak'S speculation is at fever pitch tells you everything about how this club is being run now. We're not reactive, we're proactive. Manchester United, who Elanga left in 2023, stand to make between 6 million and 8 million from the Sweden forward's move thanks to a sell-on clause. That shows just how much his value has skyrocketed since leaving Old Trafford, and now he's ours. The tactical side of things is absolutely mint as well. Elanga thrived under Nuno's high-intensity pressing at Forest, and his traits suggest he should be a good fit for Howe's pressing system. But here's the interesting bit. Newcastle will want him to start higher up the pitch compared to his deeper role at Forest. Think about it. If Isak'S does stay, imagine the attacking combinations we could see. Isak'S clinical finishing, Gordon's creativity, Elanga's pace and directness, with Bruno pulling the strings from midfield. That's a front line that could genuinely compete with anyone in Europe. But even if changes do happen to the squad, the foundation that's been built here runs much deeper than any individual player. The mentality, the culture, the belief, that's what's going to drive Newcastle forward, regardless of who's wearing the shirt. Are you confident that Newcastle can maintain their momentum, even if key players leave? This is the ultimate test of how far we've come as a club. Here's something that really stood out from Elanga's comments. He mentioned that whenever he speaks to Isak'S, it's always about good things and personal stuff like family. That genuine friendship between these two Swedish internationals makes this situation even more intriguing. Elanga called Isak'S the best striker in the world and an amazing person, and said he can always rely on him to go for advice. That personal connection shows the kind of professional relationships that go beyond just playing football together. But it also makes you wonder, if Isak'S were to leave, would that personal connection be enough to keep him at Newcastle? Or is the lure of a club like Liverpool simply too strong to resist for a player who wants to win the biggest trophies? Eddie Howe has refused to offer any guarantees about Isak'S staying. saying, "I never make those guarantees about any player, and it's not to do with Alex's future. But I'd be foolish to sit here and do anything like that." That's the kind of honesty that shows Howe's seen enough in football to never make promises he can't keep. The truth is, only Alexander Isak knows what's in his heart and mind right now. But what we do know is that Newcastle United, as a club, as a project, as a dream, is bigger than any one player, even one as class as Isak. Look, Toonami, here's the bottom line. Whether Alexander Isak stays or goes, whether we bring in Hugo Ekitike or another striker, whether this transfer window ends with a bang or a whimper, one thing is absolutely certain. Newcastle United is on an upward trajectory that nothing can stop. Anthony Elanga's arrival is just the latest piece of evidence that this club attracts winners, attracts players who believe in the vision, attracts talent that wants to be part of something truly special. The fact that a $55 million signing is saying he's ready to put on this black and white top, to really fight for this team and give everything for the passionate fan base, tells you everything you need to know about the mentality at St. James Park right now. Smash that like button if you're buzzing for the new season, and hit subscribe to never miss a Toon update. We're going to be covering every twist and turn of this transfer window, every tactical masterclass from Eddie Howe, and every moment that brings us closer to the glory we all dream about. What do you think? Is Elanga going to be the signing that takes us to the next level? And more importantly, do you reckon we can achieve our ambitions, whether Isak'S stays or goes? The Toon Army's been through everything together, and we'll get through this together as well. Whatever happens, we'll be there supporting the lads in black and white. Until next time, stay proud, stay loud, and always keep the faith. Away the lads!